is me when we that is me when we get it the mindfulness. That is me when we get the mindfulness in our mind always to observe always to contemplate always. When we get it the mindfulness, we know the mind. This mind is engaged in assuming allows one to identify with greater activity, what is actually at play in engender as learned attitudes to more effectively manage these situations is a way that the project in an affirming. That is me when we get it in mindfulness, and we will be knowing about the situation, what happened in our mind. However, you are angry mind, you will be know, I am angry now. So if you know clearly you are angry now, you can change that your mind from negative to positive. This is also engagement. Engage your mind from negative to positive. So this is also one of the identifying to greater acuity, and also to remember, to relive our minds. So finally, we very clearly know is so mindfulness is one of the products of our bodies. Mindfulness is one of the engagement to our mind to clearly understand all our minds and body. So that's why the Buddha taught to us in Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the mindfulness is not the other. Mindfulness is just only practice. Mindfulness is just only come from our minds. So it's not the other. When we study about the mindfulness, while we are studying, we want to happiness, we want to get it in peace. So that's why we have to study about the subject, and also we have to practice gaining care in our daily life. So this is the Buddhist mindfulness. So this is the Buddhist mindfulness. And after that, we have to threefold training. So as I already mentioned before, hello, Sister Flute. Can you close your audios? Yes. As I already mentioned in the morning section, ethical training or meditation, according to the Visuddhimagga, we have a three schedule. The first one, ethic base, and second one in mindfulness, and the third one meditation. So this ethic base is self-development. How can we do that? How can we do that self-development? So without mindfulness, we can't be self-development, right? And without mindfulness and without morality, that's me, without discipline, we can't do get self-development. The self-development, it based on the mindfulness in, morality, mindfulness and morality, and also accountability and responsibility. And sometimes responsibility is just only for yourself, but accountability for others. So accountability and responsibility, this is not only for your life, but also for your other. It's like a bodhisattva way. So every bodhisattva, they have practiced mindfulness meditation because they want to have all other. So this is the way of the bodhisattva. They have an accountability, they have a responsibility. They want to bring all you, they want to bring you all to understand the nirvana. They all to bring you all to realize the nirvana. So this is the ethical base. Without ethical base, and we can do get anything, because this is the basis one. So second one is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the full foundation of mindfulness. We can contemplate our body. We can contemplate our sufferings. We can contemplate our minds and the ethical object and all the mind object. So Kaya Nupassana, Vedana Nupassana, Chitta Nupassana, and Dhamma Nupassana. So these are four foundations of mindfulness. We can contemplate based on self-development and accountability and responsibility. So finally, the third stage, we can get into meditation. Meditation, there's a two things, the concentration meditation and the insight meditation. This is Samatha Bhavana and Vipassana Bhavana. So Samatha Bhavana is also come from mindfulness. Vipassana Bhavana is also come from mindfulness. But what is the difference? The different thing is just only three signs, three characteristics. That's be a nature, dukkha, anatta. So if you see some objective, if you sensation, if you feel it, if you contemplate any object, you can contemplate again and again. That is concentration vipassana. This is like a samadhi bhavana, and we can say that we cannot say vipassana bhavana. This is like a samadhi bhavana. So samadhi bhavana is a come from contemplating mindfulness. But vipassana bhavana is we have to do step. The first step, we must to contemplate whatever your object, whatever your sensation and your feeling, we have to contemplate. This is the first stage. Second stage, we have to contemplate three characteristics. This is impermanence, this is the suffering, this is the non-self that we call the nature, dukkha, anatta. When we contemplate the three characteristics on the object, on the sensation, we will be clearly understand that we call vipassana bhavana. So samatha bhavana and vipassana bhavana, they are different slighted. They are different slighted. So now we are practice mindfulness meditation. That is only we can say samatha bhavana because we contemplate again and again. If we contemplate your minds, if we know it, if we understand, if we contemplate your sensation to become like a three characteristics that we call vipassana bhavana. So you can ask me, if we practice samatha bhavana, we can go we can get it to the nibbana, we can be realized on nibbana. You can ask me like that. Of course, there's the Buddha's taught to us in Satipatthana Sutta and also Samanyapala Sutta. So, hello, Mrs. Flute. Mrs. Flute, are you here? Sister. Yeah, thank you. So samatha bhavana, if we contemplation about the samatha bhavana, we can be realized nirvana or not. You can ask me like that. So just only samatha bhavana can be realized nirvana, but not the final state, not the final state. So if we can do it vipassana bhavana, we can go it, we can get it clearly to realize the nirvana. But if we use this way to practice the samatha bhavana, vipassana bhavana, we can get it, we can go, we can be realize the nirvana. Because this is just only one way to practice the mindfulness meditation to go nirvana. So these are the ethical trainings or the mindfulness based on the Sutta. So in them, the Buddha taught to us this ethical training of mind is like a ethic and also the mindfulness in meditation. So ethics means the sila, the mindfulness is sati. So sati, sila, sati, and bhavana. So sila, sati, bhavana. So ethic in mindfulness and meditation. So this ethical training or meditation is active mindfulness meditation. So sila, sati, bhavana. So bhavana is be contemplated. So sati is mindfulness. So sila is me ethic. So at this mindfulness meditation, we have to practice. We have to focus in our minds to do whatever in our daily life, whatever you think, whatever you thought and you're doing. We must to be careful about the threefold training. So this is the one of the ethical training on meditation. So and what is the mindfulness training or meditation? In mindfulness training, the first one is the mindfulness, we can seek it. So the mindfulness is the basis one thing. This mindfulness is, it can be practiced and it can be supposed to moral responsibility. Because without mindfulness, you can't be observe any kinds of the morality. For example, the killing, the Buddha didn't allow to killing. The Buddha prohibits to killing any kinds of the living being. But without mindfulness, you can be do it because you don't care, you don't have your mind, you don't have awareness. That's why sometimes you will be kill the living being. Like for example, when you practice mindfulness, when you practice meditation, when you be sleeping, maybe sometimes the mosquito and some of the insects, they are distracting you. They are like around us you. At the time, your mind without mindfulness, there is no without mindfulness. You will be killing the mosquito. You will be killing the some of the binder because you don't have the mindfulness. You don't have the mindfulness at the moment. If you have your mindfulness, you can't. You are not able to kill this kind of the living being in balance because you have your mindfulness. That's why you can't be do it. Oh, if I kill this mosquito, this spider, this is unwholesome. So I don't want to kill. Maybe I will be removed another one. I will be, the changes the place is like that. So that is why the mindfulness, without mindfulness, we can be observed the moral responsibility. The moral responsibility. So this moral responsibility is contempt to the ethical intent. So this theory is based on the mindfulness, based on mindfulness. That's why the mindfulness training or meditation is mindfulness and moral responsibility. The mindfulness is ethical content. So from mindfulness to moral responsibility, from mindfulness to ethical intent. But ethical intent that is me not only for you, but also for other people. The moral responsibility is just only for you. Just only for you. We can say that like a Sarita Sila and Varita Sila. Sarita Sila is me to practice. Varita Sila is to observe. Like a Pancha Sila. Pancha Sila is Varita Sila. You have to observe. But Sarita Sila, you have to practice. It's like a, the duty is like a, how to say, the threefold training or also three trimbage like a Bodhan Saranan Kichami is like this. So there's a lot of ethic and moral responsibility. So this is just only for you, but ethical intent is more extension because of not only you, but also for your audience, for your family, for the society. That's why it's more extension about the ethical intent. So this is also mindfulness training or the meditation. That's why the mindfulness, sati, ati, sila, and meditation. So we can say that sati, sila, bhavana. So ethical training is sila, sati, bhavana. Mindfulness training is sati, sila, bhavana. That's the two things. So two things. You can see that this is Sila, Sati, Bhavana. This is mindfulness training. Sati, Sila, Bhavana. So that's a two-way to cultivation our mindfulness, to develop our concentration. If we use this kind of the way, this is the ethic and mindfulness. This is the Buddhist mindfulness ethic. So we have to use in, we must to use in everyday, in our everyday life to practice mindfulness. That's why mindfulness is necessary one to practice every day in every life. In next one, so the mindfulness and more. So it's mindfulness. This mindfulness is contempt to the ethical judgment. Next one. So how to provide and how to suppose to the ethical judgment. So without mindfulness, we can be educated with sometimes base. That's mean you cannot know in the right or wrong. You can be knowing which one is the right, which one is the wrong. You can be know who is the right or who is the wrong. So without mindfulness, we can be knowing about the ethical judgment. So ethical judgment is like a lawyer. It's like a Buddha. Just only look at the truth. Just only look at the truth because of he is the lawyer. So lawyer, he have to know about the ways to decision, to be the judgment. So mindfulness is supposed to the ethical judgment, and also the second one, ethical intent. Ethical intent. So mindfulness is the two way. The first way, ethical judgment. The second way, ethical intent. Ethical judgment is to be you and sometimes for others to be judgment. The judgment is like a, how to say, it's the right thing. This is the right mindfulness. This is the right thing, the right mindfulness, right concentration. You can see that because the mindfulness is supposed to the ethical judgment. That is why we have to think in that it's just like it, the right mindful and right concentration. So second things, the mindfulness is supposed to ethical intent. Ethical intent. So if we get it like it, the mindfulness is supposed to ethical intent, we can be seeing, we can be understand about this, the truth. This is like a sama vacha, sama kamanta, and sama ajiva. It's like that. So this is the three kind of the ethical movement and ethical intent. So from mindfulness to ethical judgment, and from mindfulness to ethical intent. So how to moral responsibility? These are those are function. Those function. So how to communicate and how to be supposed about the moral responsibility. So the moral responsibility is directly from mindfulness. So now you can see that the three kinds of the movement. The first one, ethical judgment. Second one, ethical intent. The last one, or the moral responsibility. So the moral responsibility is just only a right for you, and also this is supposed to ethical judgment, and also it's also supposed to ethical intent. Ethical intent. So these are the function of Samadhi Bhavana Sutta, and also you can look at the Mahasadipana Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya. This is a samadhi, the basis to samadhi in order to understand about the samadhi and concentration. So mindfulness is supposed to ethical judgment. Mindfulness in is supposed to ethical intent. So these two are very important, not only for you but also the social. The judgment and intent is more extension for our world to be peace, and to be happiness. So the moral responsibility is directly mindfulness, but they are supposed to ethical judgment and ethical intent. It's like a politics, it's like a economics, like a business, in everything is the concern with the mindfulness. For example, you are a lecturer in university. Maybe some student, they are arguments for you. Maybe some student, they are not never arguments. But whatever they do that, sometimes you are like a angry, sometimes your mind is changes to from bad to good, sometimes good to bad. At the time, if you have a moral responsibility, you have the moral responsibility, you can think in the ethical judgment. Who is right, why, what is right and what is wrong. So finally, you can decision the right deeds and the wrong deed because you have a mindfulness. So that is why mindfulness is more important one to practice, to awareness in our daily life. Without mindfulness, cannot do anything. Cannot do anything. Our minds are always doing. Our minds are always thinking. Whatever you doing, whatever you thinking, just only know it. Just only know it. That is the mindfulness. So this is the mindfulness and more. So mindfulness and how to support the more, and mindfulness how to supposed to ethical judgment and ethical intent. So after that, you can see in the mental happiness and physical well-being. So these are directly to get it. So mindfulness, from if you have a mindfulness, you will be contemplate your mind to observe the moral responsibility. If you have a moral responsibility, you can get it, the mental happiness and physical well-being. So mental happiness is like a citta sukha. Citta is mind, sukha is happiness, citta sukha. So citta sukha is mental happiness, the physical well-being. So physical well-being, sometimes in the mental well-being, but physical well-being is more needed in our life. And also, mental well-being. So mindfulness, more responsibility, and we can get it. Mental happiness and physical well-being. So this diagram is mentioned about the mindfulness and moral to get it, the happiness and well-being. And then we have to go in and study about this, the focus, attention, open monitoring. And open monitoring is me look at continuously, always look at that, that's we monitoring. So mindfulness practice is involved the paying attention on an object, and when the mind wander, we turn the attention to the object. This is the like a practical ways to focus on your mind. What I want to talk to you about that when we practice meditation, we must do know the mind. Sometimes the minds are wandering because of monkey mind. So because monkey mind, so monkey mind is always wondering that. It's okay, whatever you are, your minds are wandering, but just only note it. Just only note it. Just only know it. If you know it, I know my mind. Whatever thinking that, you can contemplate. So at the time, the mind is returning to your object. Returning to your object. So if you contemplate, now my mind is thinking, my mind is like imaging, my mind is going to somewhere. Now you know that your mind, the situation at the time, you can come to bed, you can return to your mind and the original object. That's me, breathe in, breathe out. That's means the rises and falling. So this is the practical way, the focus to the object, This object is like the original object. Rising, falling, rising, falling, sometimes, and then you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So mindfulness practice sometimes attention to your object, but whatever your mind is wandering, please return to the original objective. That's me. Breathe in, breathe out, and rise and falling. So this is the main object to practice. So this concentration, so if you practice like that, the concentration is a practice helps to refine one's capacity to focus and maintain attention on the object. So if you think like that, sometimes when you practice mindfulness meditation, your mind is wandering. Just only you follow your mind. The mind is wandering everywhere, every thinking, imagine thinking, but you just only following with your mind, when you practice meditation. So whatever you sit and practice meditation, you sit in meditation, your mind is going out to where, your mind is wondering something. At the time, you just follow with it. You just follow with it. So if you follow like that, you cannot be concentrate anymore because your mind is not focused to concentrate. Your mind is the wandering. That's why cannot be concentrate, cannot be concentration. But some meditator, they misunderstanding about that. Oh, I'm practice meditation, like a sitting meditation. Now my mind is thinking about the mindfulness. But really your mind is not thinking about mindfulness. Your mind is just only wandering somewhere, going to somewhere, and thinking that something is like that. That is not the concentration. So if you have it like that, please come back to the original objective. That's me, rising, falling, and breathing, breathe out, original attention. At that time, your concentration will be developed. If your concentration is developed, your capacity, that's mean your energy, your ability to focus on your object. On the object, you have more attention, you have more focus, you will be getting more concentration. You will be getting more concentration. So if you have a more concentration, your brains and your minds is minded. This practice report the corresponding changes to brain region associated with attention. That's mean when you get the more concentration, your brain is more working. If your brain is more working, your intelligence is more powerful. Your intelligence is more powerful, your mind is more powerful. So if you have a mind powerful, you can be realize the nirvana. This is the monitoring. This is the, like we can say the monitoring, open monitoring. Just only look at that. Just only look at what your mind, what happened in your mind. Just only look at and knowing. Just only look at and knowing what happened in your mind. What is your objective is. So this is the practical way. This is the practical way. So that's the two sections. The first one, mindfulness, the practice is pay attention. Please attention. What you practice mindfulness meditation, whatever your objective, whatever your sensation, you must to pay attention to practice. If you practice again and again, you will be getting more concentration. Sometimes your mind is the wandering, but if you know it, please come back to the original objective to practice mindfulness. Breathe in, breathe out, rise and falling. So if you have the concentration, your concentration is more powerful. At the time, your mind is more, your capacity is more greater than, and also your brain is also more working. to be exploring about your minds and body. So finally, you can be understand your minds and your bodies and your brain, how they work on your, how they working, and also what is the important things to realize Nibbana. Finally, you can touch it. You can touch it and you can take it easily. So that is the focus on monitoring. Monitoring. So this is the one of the practical way, the focus attention on open monitoring. So in another one is like a mindful mind. So mindful mind is, what is the mindful mind? So mindful mind is practice of concentration, attention around an object. So all the way, and also continuously you practice your mind, mindfulness to get the concentration, and you're contemplating. When you're contemplating, at the time, your attention to object. So if you attention on the object, you will be molded. You will be more understand. You will be more mindful mind. Mindful mind. So when the mind wander, it's not easy one. Of course, the mind is always wander. Mind is to control. It's very difficult. It's difficult to control our mind. So that is why the mindfulness, we can be controlled with the mindfulness practice. If we have a mindfulness practice, the mind is the slowly come to the mindful mind. So mindful mind is, we have to practice mindfulness meditation to get the concentration, to understand about the concentration. So finally, we can change our minds from unmindful to the mindful mind. So mindful mind. So this is the one way to practice to get the mindfulness meditation. To get the mindfulness meditation. So, and then open monitoring. So as I already mentioned before, to focus on open monitoring, this is a look at our mind, what happened. So in this diagram, the Buddha talked to that in concentration. The concentration is to support our awareness. Awareness is mindfulness. So if we have the concentration, we can know easily how to awareness an object. So if we have knowing about the awareness, we can observe again and again. Observe, contemplate, observe, contemplate again and again. So if you observe your body, maybe sometimes the present, sometimes unpresent. Sometimes you will be like it, sometimes you don't like it. Sometimes you are painful a lot, sometimes you are not unpainful. You are easy to take meditation sometimes. So whatever appear in your body, in your mind, you cannot choose. You don't have to do choice. Just only awareness, just only attention. You don't have a choice. You don't have a tap. You don't have a chance to choice. You cannot be choice. I don't want to do. I don't want to. Suffer a lot. I don't want to do that. Like a pain a lot. Not like that. You can do it. Whatever happen, whatever appear in your mind and body, you must to accept that. There is no the chance to choice. So at the time, if you, whatever appear in your mind and body, just only accept this and also just only awareness. If you awareness about that, you will be attention. Oh, is it in nature? When I practice meditation, it's like a beginner. I will be paying a lot. not only the body, but also the mental state. But I don't like the pain because the pain is not a good. The pain is not a good. That's why I don't want to pain anymore. I just want to be comfortable when I practice meditation. I want to be easy to practice meditation. But it's not like that. It's not like that. When I practice mindfulness meditation, my body and my mind is so painful. So sometimes I think that I don't want to pain anymore because I just want to be unpainful. I just want to be comfortable. Why I'm painful a lot? Because I don't have a be attention. I don't have a be attention. If I don't have a be attention, I cannot be contemplate whatever happened in my mind. If I think that painful a lot, I'm so angry. My mind is become angry because of the pain. I'm so pain. That's why my mind is angry. I believe that. Why the Buddha told us mindfulness is just only one way to nirvana. Just only one way to realize the nirvana. Why he say like that? Now I practice mindfulness meditation. I didn't get any happiness. I didn't get any well-being. Now I get it suffering. Now I get it the pain. He's lying. He's lying. Because now I practice mindfulness meditation. I didn't get any happiness and well-being. I just only get it the pain and suffering. So it's like that. I will be thinking that. Because I don't have the attention. So open monotony is just only to understand whatever happen in your mind, whatever appear in your mind and body, please just only contemplate, just only attention, just only awareness. Whatever you like or you don't like, just only acceptance and awareness, attention. Just only accept and then attention and well-being. Finally, you can be understand the process of the mindfulness. You can be known it easily, the nature of the mind and body. So that is called open monitoring. Open monitoring. So the acceptance and awareness, that's why whatever we do it and we happen in our mind, we have to accept them and also awareness. So the first one, you must to accept. Second one, you have to awareness. So accept them in awareness, accept them in awareness. We don't have a chance to choose. When we practice mindfulness meditation, there is no the choice. No choice. If you want to choose, please be mindful. Please be awareness. At that time, you can be tried it. But without mindfulness, you can't be choice. No need to try it. Just only accepting whatever happened. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative, sometimes good things, sometimes bad things. Just only accept it. So the Buddha said that without mindfulness, we cannot try to contemplate. Okay, if you have your mindfulness, you can be choices. Do good things, do positive thinking. So the first one, accepting. Second one, awareness. The third one, present moment. The present moment. So accepting and awareness and the present moment that is mindfulness. So mindfulness is not, mindfulness is nothing. Mindfulness is nothing, but mindfulness is accepting, and awareness in the present moment. So this is the ways to practice of the mindfulness on the Satipatthana Sutta. Satipatthana Sutta. So accepting and mindfulness. We have to understand about the acceptance and awareness. Without mindfulness cannot be accepted. Without mindfulness cannot be awareness. So without mindfulness cannot be contemplate the present moment. So mindfulness is the basis one to contemplate whatever happen in our mind, whatever arising in our mind, what we are happy, we will be knowing that clearly the function of the body, the process of the minds. So this is acceptance and awareness. In what is the ethical, dharmas? The ethical dharma. It's just me. When you practice meditation, when you practice mindfulness meditation, sometimes your mind is distracted and disparate. That's me, as I already before. When you practice meditation, you want to be good things, you want to be happiness and well-being, but now you get it, negative thing, now you get it, the sufferers. It's not easy to practice mindfulness. So sometimes your mind is distraught, your mind is a depression, to practice meditation. To practice meditation. You cannot focus to your minds and body because you don't have the mindfulness. You don't have the mindfulness. So this is the ethical dimension. That's mean the distracted and the depression. When you practice, the mind is wandering. Mind is wandering a lot. And the bad things and negative thinkings, everything's so we get it. So the second one is you will be thinking on past and future. When you practice meditation, you will be thinking a lot of those kind of the thinking is come from the part that in the way we come from the future. When you practice meditation, I will be doing it in the future, near future. If I finish my practice, I will be doing it. But now you practice meditation. Maybe it's like if I'm finished my class, I will do it something it's like that. You thinking in the near future. You thinking near future. So maybe 15 minutes later, I will be doing what it is. It's like this. So when we practice certain meditation, almost in some time, we are thinking that our minds in the past, in the future. So the mind is sometimes distraught and depressed. The mind is sometimes the thinking on the past and the future. Because of we don't have a mindfulness. Because of we don't have a mindfulness. If you have a mindfulness, you didn't do like it. You are not able to get in this situation. You cannot be this kind of the situation. So without mindfulness, you will be thinking a lot about the family, about the friends, about the business, about education, everything. You will be thinking a lot. But we have a mindfulness. We are not able to get this situation. Maybe peace and happiness that are coming out in our mind. Maybe we have a more awareness. We can get it, the peace and happiness. But without mindfulness, cannot get anything. Cannot get anything. No happiness, no well-being. You will be getting distracted in depression, and also like thinking that. Just only thinking that. So this is the ethical damage. That is the base on the mindfulness meditation. So the mindfulness in ethical decision making. So how can we make the ethical decision based on mindfulness? So the Buddha taught that mindfulness is the practice of developing the greater awareness of our interpersonal interaction in of the event taking place in our life, along with our reaction to those events. So how can we be decision making? If we have a mindfulness, the mindfulness is developing the based on our awareness and our acceptance. For example, if you practice mindfulness meditation, you thinking that your mind sometimes positive, sometimes negative. Whatever arising in your mind, you just only contemplate at the time you are interpersonal interaction. That's mean inside body, the mind is happy. Sometimes like how do you say it's like imagine, like a dream, like a making dream. It's like a dream. So you are wondering in your like watching the movie on your mind. You go in, you sitting, you're drinking, you sleeping, you're talking with your friends. It's like a movie. It's like a series movie. It's happening continuously. It's never stopping, never stopping. But thinking that, sitting and talking, and like going everything with your friends, with your family. It's like a series that like a channel series, a TV series. It's like that. So that is the interpersonal interaction. So if you think like that inside your body, this is taking place in our life, taking place in our mind. This is the negative point of view. The positive point of view, when you practice meditation, your mind is working like how they can work, contemplate again. You will be knowing clearly about the peace and happiness because of the concentration. So mind is happy, slowly and happy. According to the method or the far out meditation center, we can say that Patama jhana, Dutiya jhana, Tatiya jhana, and Saruta dana is advantage slowly. You can get it the happiness and well-being. This is the interpersonal interaction, not the outside. Just only mind happen. Just only happen in your mind, not the outside, not the outside. But this is our life. This is the event in our life. It's happen in our life. So this is the reaction to those happen. At the time, your mind is the peace and happiness. The mind is supposed to your body. At the time, your physical body is like it comes to peace. Your physical body is a come to happy because of the reaction of your mind. So this is the reflection. This is the contemplation. The from mind to body, from mind to body. This is the ethical decision making. Some meditator, some person, they're so beautiful. Some some person, some people, they so looking good, they're so beautiful because of their minds. Their minds are happy. Their minds is like a pure mind. They have a happiness and they have a well-being. The mind is reflection on your body, in your physical body. So at that time, the physical body is the brightly, it's like a clearly, it's a calm to see for other. So this is ethical decision making. So from inside of the mind to outside of your body because of the mindfulness practice. So this is the mindfulness and ethical decision making. So in the second one, this practice theory, this theory is learned to conversation on ethical and professional conduct. How can we do that ethical and professional conduct? That's we call, as I already mentioned before, moral responsibility. The moral responsibility is a concept to for other, like a ethical judgment, ethical intent. As I already before mentioned. So ethics in the professional context is based on your mindfulness. It's based on your practice theory. So this lead to the conversation between ethics and the professional context because of the mindfulness, because of the mindfulness practice theory. So this is the one of the practice, one of the theory. So after that, the Buddha taught us it is the opposite. Object is one of the way. The action in expectation of the opposite causes, our planet, collagen, and the family, they that's the proper, that's challenging and professional in the personal situation. And also the emotional reactivity that leads to ethical mistake. That is mean, if you practice this kind of the theory, if you practice this kind of the way, you can be communicate your client, your counselor, your colleague, your family, and the people, everyone. So at the time you have a professional community, you have a professional conversation with it because you understand your minds. So that will be support your business, that will be your support in your daily life, to communication skill, to how to say, to communication skill, to conversation skill. That's why we develop for you, because of you have a ethic of the mindful, you have an ethic of mindful. So finally, you can bring those kind of the people to go the good life, to get the good things, and not to be, not to be like a ethical mistake, and not that's lead to ethical mistake. You never to get the mistake, the ethical mistake. You will be doing like a ethic judgment, ethical intent based on the moral responsibility. So that is why mindfulness is now, it's not only for you life, but also supposed to your family, but also support your colleague, your family, your friends. So this is the one of the way to practice mindfulness. So the mindfulness in ethical decision making. So if you have a mindfulness, you can be decision is the right things and right thought. These are supposed to your communication between your family, between your friends. This is the the concentration of mindfulness. So you can see that we can communicate. We can be communicate every kind of the person, the yoga family, the friends, college, everyone. We can be communicate without confused, without argument. So ethics in the studying the mind. That's the Buddha taught us about this message. So ethics is being the foundation for concentration practice. As I already mentioned before in morning section, ethics is means sila. Sila is one of the foundation of concentration. So this established in quality of mindful, this engagement to stable and receptive to the profound insights to withdraw from everyday experience. These are ones to be more at ease in life, and also now, notwithstanding that I remain predictable and unstable in uptime in the present moment. That is me. Ethics is one of the base foundation of the concentration. This concentration is established to be quality of the mindful. This mindful is to be stable in our mind, and also finally we can be realized the vipassana, we can be realized the nibbana. So this is the ethic in the studying the mind. So, and also the Buddha taught that the Buddha point of view, for living in ethical light may be regarded as the redundant or may evoke a religious quality that is treated as subject or the inappropriate when offered in the school context. That means that the Buddha talked to us about this. Ethical life is we can regard like both as a religious. So this is a little bit extension because of ethics. We have ethics every religion, but if we understand your ethic, we can be lived together. Whatever we are different, whatever we are, different colors, different religious, different idea, and different concept, we can be together. No need to sorrowful, no need to accusation, no need to paralysis, everyone. So that's why the Buddhist prescription for living ethic is one of the necessary one. The ethics is one of the needed one. So the rules for conduct, that means sila and ethic, may establish a stable internal environment to support both the practice of mindfulness and ethical decision making. That's why sila is established for stable the internal environment. That means just only your life. Just only your life. This is like interaction, the development of your mind, and also to suppose both to practice for the mindfulness and ethical decision. So this is the practical way. Not only study, not only learning. If you learning, if you just only learning, you can be understanding more. Please do get practice. Please do get practice. So ethics, the establish is the internet environments to support the mindfulness and ethical decision. So this is the Buddha want to talk to us to practice in Mahasatipatthana Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya. So I would like to be conclusion in my lecture here. So mindfulness ethics, it represents the coming together of the mindfulness practice and the professional responsibility. That is the form, the balance the two together in a manner that allows for greater awareness in the midst of the ethical challenge and draw upon the ethical rules to support the mindfulness practice. And also, insight into the nature of the mind. This is the to contemplation of our body, the vipassana, samatha bhavana, and vipassana bhavana. They are the proofs to be the powerful to foresee more clearly the way we are drawing into challenging situation and difficult interface and interpretation. This is the samatha bhavana and vipassana bhavana. This is the capability to concentration. So sila and samadhi and the last one penya. So mindfulness practice is penya. If these insight to be absorbed or more deeply, this is the penya. This promoting a more natural and the spontaneous check away from the reactivity, slanging in the midst of the spiritual, is to a more contemplated and responsive manner or relating to present encounter and situation. So that is me, the mindfulness practice along the insights to be absorbed more deeply, to contemplate deeply and to awareness and deeply. At the time, you will be most understand the reactivity of our minds and body, and also we will be more contemplated, responsibility manners of the relating. Whatever we have been, sometimes present and unpresent. So this is the conclusion about the mindfulness ethic. The first paragraph represent to the ethic. The second paragraph represent to the concentration. And the last paragraph is in terms to the wisdom to be realized. So this is the conclusion in my lecture. So thank you so much. If you have a question, you can ask me now. Now I will restart my lecture in here. So anyone, any question? Yeah. So if you don't have a question, I will be a tea break 10 minutes. Tea break 10 minutes. So after that, we should be continuing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Break time 10 minutes.
So now we should practice mindfulness meditation. It's like as leader 1 hour. Practice. now we have so 1 hours to practice mindfulness meditation. So anyone, do you have any question? Any lecture? No? So you don't have any question. I will give you tomorrow about the Samadhi Bhavana Sutta. Tomorrow, I will give you the lecture about the Samadhi Bhavana Sutta. In this Sutta, there's 4 kinds of the concentration. And then we will be knowing about the concentration to be gratified about the Samadhi Bhavana. Today, if you don't have any question, I will be started here in my class. Okay. So we should homage to the Buddha. Araha Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantan Abhivadini Swakado Bhagavata Dhammo Dhamma Namasami Subhadibano Bhagavato Savakasango Sanganamami. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.